Mohammad Siraj is bowling to him. Konstas still at the crease, trying to flick it off his pads. It dribbles away to the leg side. He has one. He's coming back for two. Crowd roars in anticipation. It's a half-century of seismic proportions for Sam Konstas, who raises his bat to a sellout crowd. He has announced himself to a country. He has announced himself to the cricketing world. And what a stage to do it on.
On debut, it reminds me when David Hookes made his debut here. Centenary Test, got a 50, got a standing ovation. But this is massive. I mean, within the first hour of your Test debut, you're batting on 50. Some unbelievable shots.
Jadeja straight back goes again. Konstas in defence, hits him on the pad first, give it! Did get forward, goes up to consult Khawaja. Jadeja was convinced, so was umpire Goff. Will he review? It doesn't look like he's going to. The Konstas performance is over. Australia lose their first wicket on 89. He's going to receive quite the ovation from the Melbourne crowd. For 60 runs, we're not going to forget in a hurry. And so he should. The best in the modern game, but leg before wicket to Jadeja.
Yeah, and so he should, Colo. It's a remarkable knock. On debut, the nerves and the sense of occasion, that was absolutely plumb from Jadeja. But what a fine start to this young man's Test career. 60 off 65 balls. It was done in unconventional fashion, but that's the beauty of the modern game. They play without fear and challenge the norms, and he gets a wonderful ovation from this MCG crowd.
Deep works his way in, away from us, bowls to Khawaja, back of a length, through the court, and that'll be a boundary, and indeed he's 50. So 2 fours in the 40s gets Khawaja to that milestone for the first time this summer, only the second time this year, just at the point where it was getting almost urgent for Khawaja to get himself into the series. He's done exactly that. Australia 1 for 127. Usman finding some rhythm.
Well, that's what happens when you have a cover and you don't have an extra catcher. There's a big gap between second and gully, and that's exactly where Khawaja gets it. Not quite where he intended, but he's not worried about that. Gets to 50, and Rohit Sharma once again missing a trick.
Bumrah around the wicket to Khawaja, who pulls straight to mid-wicket. Shockingly soft dismissal. Khawaja can't believe what he's just done. Bumrah strikes at the first ball of a fresh spell. And he begins the task of dragging India back into it. Khawaja gone for 57. Australia 2 for 154.
He's Q-ended that straight to mid-wicket. He cannot believe it. It's come right off the bottom of the bat, and just given the timing of it, just lobbed straight out to KL Rahul at mid-wicket, who took an easy catch. Bumrah had his hand in his head. His hands over his head. He couldn't believe what he just witnessed. It was a rank half-tracker. Deserved to be dispatched, but just the timing of it, straight off the Q-end. Khawaja can't believe it. Played beautifully for 57 though, and he's set Australia up nicely. We're now 2 for 154.
Last ball of Bumrah's over. Marsh swings across the line. He's nicked it through to parts. Horrible dismissal. Marsh goes for 4. Bumrah has 3, and you can upgrade India's prospects. It's 5 for 246. Yuck. Head goes for 4, head goes for 0, Marsh goes for 4, so nothing out of the middle order. 5 for 246, end of the over. Glencore scoreboard advancing everyday life. 1 to come in the Reddy over. That familiar sense of anticipation around the ground. Smith faces up, he plays through the field and adds to his immense deeds here at the MCG with a 5th Test century. It clatters into the rope. 11 tons against India will stand as testimony to the greatness of Steve Smith. Bat and helmet raised, a kiss of the badge. And this greatest of Australian venues stands to applaud him once more.
He's a tremendous player. And this is what great players do. They rise to the occasion. The bigger the day, the bigger the performance, and it couldn't have come at a better time. He just looked his fluent self in this innings as opposed to the last innings, and it's the hard work he did at the Gabba that's paid off at the G. And when you see him cover driving in that fashion, you know he's close to his best.
Cummins is 49 and he has the strike. The captain drives lustily down the ground. It hangs and he's going to be caught. Cummins goes for 49. Just not quite enough meat on it to clear mid-off. It's a good catch taken by Reddy, getting around. And finally, India have a wicket to celebrate.
Yes, he's batted with himself, Pat Cummins. He batted so well, he deserved a 50. But that's what spin can do. It can lure you into a sense of complacency. He went for the big hit. He didn't quite get it right, but a fine hand from the Australian captain. It's a really good partnership, this. It's put Australia in the driver's seat.
Fielders spread far and wide. Smith has a strike, dances down the pitch, inside edge, trickles into the stumps, and he's bowled. One of the most curious dismissals of the veteran's career. It squeezed out and then agonisingly went bump, bump, bump and tickled the bail off. Smith goes for 140 with the job superbly done.
Yes, and he was so far down the track he couldn't come running back to try and kick it away from the stumps. It trickled ever so slowly. He had his heart in his mouth when the ball hit the stumps. And the bail fell off. But now, hear the ovation.
It's our grandest sporting venue, and Steve Smith, with really only one before Don Bradman to dominate it from a cricket sense to the same degree. A fifth Test century here to be fully savoured. 140 from 197 balls, 13 fours and 3 sixes. And he leaves the scene with 9,949 runs to his name, turns to all parts of the ground to acknowledge the applause.
Cummins in, got the short leg, bowls to Rowett, who pulls awkwardly towards mid-on, and it's taken comfortably. Cummins gets Rowett. It's an ugly dismissal. Boland takes the catch. India 1 for 8 in early strife. Rowett, his career is really on the line now.
Yeah, that was indecisive. It pays the price. Just climbed on him, but it wasn't there to be playing that shot against a new ball. He looks dejected, trudging off the MCG. He goes for 3. And the early breakthrough for Pat Cummins. India now 1 for 8.
Stark with a cover in place. Bowls to Jaiswal. It's back and it's cut. It's cut beautifully. He didn't quite time it. The chase is on. Nathan Lyon from backward point. I'll get at least 3. Might have been 4. The crowd wants 4. There wasn't quite certainty over it. But that'll be 50 for Jaiswal. They'll settle for 3. 9th in Test cricket. And rousing applause from the Indian fans here at the MCG. An important knock.
Very important knock. India looked in all sorts this morning on the field, and they lost their captain in the second over of this innings. They needed something to kind of lift their spirits up, morale up. And once again, it is Yashasvi Jaiswal has provided them with that. And he saw a young 19-year-old debutant get the crowd on their feet yesterday. Jaiswal a few years older. The Indian fans love that.
On the follow-up, Jaiswal advanced, flipped it to mid-on, took off, shocking mix-up, Cummins in, out. Jaiswal stranded at the wrong end. Jaiswal played it hard to Cummins. He charged down. Kohli wanted no part of it, stood his ground. And Jaiswal was side by side with the veteran when the stumps were disturbed at the striker's end. What a waste! Jaiswal goes for 82, and Australia do get the wicket late in the piece. It's 3 for 153.
Well, the youngster's had an absolute brain fade there. He's hit it so hard to Pat Cummins at mid-on. It's his fault. He took off. There was no run there. Virat Kohli had every right to send him back. And a wonderful knock of 82 off just 118 balls comes to an end. And could that be the opening that allows Australia to pounce late here, get a couple of late wickets?
Boland's to Kohli, who nibbled at it. He's nicked it. Boland's got him. Now the umpires are going to come together and have a little chat. Kohli's been fined now. The local hero strikes late, and it is the precious wickets of Virat Kohli. He's gone for 36, and the whole timber of the game has changed.
Well, they say run-outs cause collapses, and here we go. Scotty Boland just gets a little feather from Kohli to Carey, and his knock at 36 comes to an end. Greeted with cheers from the crowd.
Boland to Reddy. Down the line he goes. Lofted drive. Wonderful. Marvellous. A splendid test century for Nitish Kumar Reddy. Prodigiously talented young man. Down on one knee. A kiss to the heavens. The rare feat of a test century at number 8. It could be any ground in India by the reception that has engulfed him in Melbourne. Unforgettable. Mohammad Siraj stands clapping his bat for his teammate, who acknowledges every Indian fan in this great stadium. That is a moment in time, not just for Reddy and not just for Indian cricket. That too will live in the lore of Boxing Day test matches here. It went for 4. Reddy's 103.
A star is born. A star is born at the G in front of nearly 80,000 people. Nobody in India will ever forget this moment. They'll tell you where they were when Nitish Kumar Reddy brought up his first test 100.
There are tears in the terraces for it. Reddy got the Yorker and he kept it out from Boland.
His parents have flown all the way from Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. They're there in the stands. What a proud moment for them. The sacrifices that they've made over the years. Just a year ago, they were all packed into a tiny apartment on the outskirts of Vizag. Their lives will never be the same again.
They are beautiful scenes. And now back to the match, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Where are we? The deficit's 120. The heavens are about to open. Boland to Reddy, slashes at the ball over extra cover. He gave it a good crack at pitches and stops. He takes the single and leaves one in the over to face.
You don't have to be an Indian fan, do you? You don't have to be. You just have to be a fan of cricket.
That was very, very special. Talk about VVS Laxman, but Nitish Kumar Reddy, well, that was richly deserved. Under pressure. He's done it in convincing fashion against a very good attack in front of an unbelievable crowd. Support for both teams has just been phenomenal. And I think that'll be the first of many. And I think he's going to be batting a lot higher in the future for this team. This team's definitely in transition, and it's the youngsters that are leading the charge.
Back to Sunder on 49. 2 left in the over. Field in with 1 away from a milestone. Line bowls Sunder. Catches it on the half volley. Quickie single through. Out to mid-off he goes with the drive. And that's enough to get into a half century. For the 4th time in Test cricket, Sunder reaches that milestone. You get the sense he's got plenty of runs left in him today. He's been crucial to this fight back from India. They've put on 120 together Limited opportunities in Test cricket over the last 4 years, but he seldom misses out. Washington Sunder, 50 not out. As the flags wave, Lyon bowls again, Reddy on the sweep and gets it fine enough that Konstas will have to put in a huge dive and doesn't get there. He nearly got there. He did put in the dive, but the ball after the half century, Reddy hits a 4 to move to 94. End of an over where 6 runs were taken. 7 for 345. They trail by 129 on the Glencore scoreboard, advancing everyday life.
Oh, this is just extraordinary batting. Nitish Kumar Reddy picked the length so early. And there was a fielder out there, Sam Konstas, specifically for that shot, but he got it fine enough and timed it wonderfully. There was no way Konstas was going to catch up. Meanwhile, at the other end, Washington getting to yet another 50 on Australian soil.
Lyon approaches and delivers here, and Sunder gets forward and caught it slip. Lyon gets the breakthrough at long last. A ball that took the shoulder of Sunder's blade. Extra bounce, the turn he's been striving for from round the wicket. And the partnership of 127 is broken. Caught by Smith at slip. Nathan Lyon gets his second wicket. 8 for 348. An excellent innings of 50 for Washington Sunder comes to an end. Bharat Sundaration.
Oh, how much did Nathan Lyon enjoy that one? It was quicker. Just zipped through. Washington Sunder has been really defensive in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Just prodded at that one. Got the top half of the bat and went straight to Steve Smith, and Australia finally are able to break this partnership that has brought India back into this match. Well played, Washington Sunder.
None of that so far. Bumrah bowls for Konstas. He's bowled him! And Bumrah is fired up. Straight through Konstas' defence. Knocked over for 8. First blood in the second innings. It's Bumrah. It's always Bumrah. Australia 1 for 20.
Yeah, he's going to have the king in front of his name soon. King Bumrah. That was an absolute beauty. But there was a gap between bat and pad. The youngster let it through the gate, and he pays the price. He departs for 8, and Bumrah strikes. Australia 1 for 20.
Bumrah round the wicket to head. First crack at him. Round the corner. Caught a square leg. Caught off the hip. Bumrah's done it again. Second ball back in the attack. And the danger man head is gone for 1. India right back in this test match. Australia 4 for 85. Head can't believe he's done it.
It's official. King Bumrah. Mentioned it earlier when he got the first one, but this time now he's just got the danger man, Travis Head, chipping it straight to square leg. Positioned beautifully. Reddy can't believe his luck. And the Boxing Day nightmare continues for Travis Head. Naught in the first, out for 1 in the second. And Bumrah, 200 test wickets.
Absolute quality from Bumrah. Held back specifically for Travis Head. Gets him out again. This game is alive. Australia lead by 190 runs. 6 wickets in hand. Plenty of time in this game.
Can Bumrah do it again? Already struck in the over. Finishes here to Marsh, who is caught behind as well. Marsh has gone for a duck. Bumrah is steamrolling through Australia. 2 in the over. He's magnificent. Australia 5 for 85. The lead's 190. It is game on at the MCG. Bumrah can do no wrong.
Yeah, and that's a nervous shot from Mitch Marsh. No feet, tentative, just pushed at it with his hands. Gifted Rishabh Pant, an easy catch through off Bumrah. He has worked him over easily there. It only took 4 balls. And Mitch Marsh trudges back for a duck. And Alex Carey, can he rectify things now? He's been in good form all summer. Australia desperate for a partnership here, otherwise this innings is going to unravel quickly.
This could be the decisive session of the series, Flam.
But the thing is, we were talking about lateral movement. No, Bumrah, after a few that kept low, actually goes, no, I'll release a bit higher and I'll try and get some extra bounce and pace. And he did. He did. So that's just beautifully bowled. Beautifully bowled. Mitchell Marsh, lacking runs, lacking confidence, gets a good delivery, but he follows it as well. So, yeah, this has just changed totally in 2 overs.
Last ball of this one here. Approaches and bowls to Carey. He's bowled him as well! Straight through the gate. Middle stump bent back. Bumrah's got 4. This is a genius at work. One of the best we have ever seen. 6 for 91. Australia are reeling. Bumrah is on one, and Carey's walking off for 2.
Tell you what, you talked about the greatest of all time. It's putting his hand up again. I think, is that 29 wickets in this series? But he hasn't got that many just knocking over the tail. That's just come in a little bit. Getting Carey caught on the crease, which is tough because his footwork has been fantastic through this series. And the big man, Bumrah, he is winning this test match for India.
Siraj into him here. And Labuschagne plays late, as he's done many times, through backward point for 1. Such an important half-century for Marnus Labuschagne, the Australian number 3. Holds up the bat to the dressing room, acknowledges the applause. There is so much yet to do from the Queensland skipper, but with so much carnage around him, he's stood the test so far. 6 for 105.
Oh, he certainly has. He's had luck on his side. Given out, not out LBW, and it looked very close early on, and then that shocking drop from Yashasvi Jaiswal a couple of overs ago. But he's made the most of it.
Lines on 41. Bumrah bowls to him. Bowled it. Middle stump out of the ground. As emphatic as he could get. For the 3rd time in the series, Jasprit Bumrah with a 5-wicket haul. And for the Indian fans who filled the terraces early, a moment to celebrate. How do you like that?
Yeah, another beauty from Bumrah. Nathan Lyon just played all around it. He pitched up. It was angled in. It just kept coming back into the stumps. And there was a massive gap between bat and pad. The front leg went nowhere. And Bumrah, a deserved fifer. He finishes with 5 for 57 off 24.4. What a legend he is. He single-handedly got India back into this test match. And now Australia are leading by 339. So 340 for victory for India. Can they do it?
This should be the last over before lunch. It'll be Mitchell Starc with the ball. From the members' end, bowling to Kohli. He drives, and he's out! Virat Kohli's gone, caught a first slip. Usman Khawaja low down. Starc has the big fish. And that is disastrous for India. They lose their 3rd, and Kohli fails again.
It was coming, wasn't it? It was coming. He'd held himself together for so long. There was a wide delivery from Mitchell Starc. Virat Kohli knows his. Leaves the MCG probably for the last time as a test cricketer. Head bowed down, telling himself what he should have done. He had kept his hands together for long periods in the first innings. This is not his natural game, playing or trying to play out a session. Reached for it. A humongous moment in this test match.
The king is dead. He trudges off. King Bumrah's taken the mantle now. Yeah, Kohli looks dejected with himself. That was a big knock for him. He's come up short. And India now reeling at 3 for 33 as we head into lunch on day 5 here. Australia will be very, very happy with the situation they find themselves in now for the rest of the day.
Jaiswal, a boundary away from a half-century. Line up to him here, and he goes back and plays through mid-wicket. Finds the gap. Work to do for Khawaja. Back towards the rope, and the ball will beat him.
Wow.
Yashasvi Jaiswal gets a chance to raise the bat. A half-century for the man who started this series in such staggering form at Perth Stadium with 161. And here at Melbourne, so much work to do for India. He's the one who stood up so far. 50 from 127. Work still to do, but heading in the right direction.
3 for 121. No intent from either side at the moment. Parn swings across the line. It hangs. Marsh at deep mid-wicket takes the catch. The first moment of aggression, and Part is gone. Mitch Marsh hangs on in the deep. 2 Butte catches today, and he's surrounded by his teammates. Does that breathe some life into the game? 4 for 121. Part's gone for 30.
Well, that's a bonus wicket for Australia. Travis Head bowling, probably because they're behind on the run rate. Fielders back on the fence. As you say, Jared, Rishabh Pant has not shown much aggression at all in this innings. That's his first attempt to really hit over the top, and he's hit it straight to Mitch Marsh, who's taken a sort of mark at centre-half back.
Nathan Lyon to come to the wicket party.
None for 33. Line up southern end to Reddy.
Oh,
and he beats Smith.
Yeah,
It's Steve Smith, a ripper at slit. Nathan Lyon does come to the party, Damien Fleming, at the best possible time. Australia have gone bang, bang, bang. They're right back in this test match. 6 for 130 India. Australia have got plenty of time to take the last 4 wickets. That is super work from Steve Smith to his left.
Caught Smith bowled Lyon. I'm not sure what dismissal. It might be in the 70s. Like it from Lyon, but this is incredible from Stephen Smith. Low down. He would have lost sight of the ball a little bit because Carey was in front of him, but soft hands, made sure he didn't land on his elbows, and this game is alive. 1 more wicket, they're into the tail.
Spoils. Jaiswal was short. He went after it down the leg side as he knocked it through to Carey. They're up and asking. Umpire says no. Immediate review. Carey tells Cummins he hit it.
Jaiswal looks very guilty. He looks very guilty. They're already celebrating, the Australians.
Cummins looks super confident.
TV umpire to director will have a player review for court. On-field decision is not out. I've checked the field placement and it's a fair delivery from the teacher.
This is for Imars the Shed, giving cash back rewards with insurance. Jaiswal survived an LBW on 31. This is down the leg side, hooking the ball. Yes, he's hit it.
He's hit it.
Just gonna have RBS to take with this.
It's hit the bat high up. Needs to be confirmed.
I can see a deflection of the gloves. Yes, please.
Oh, yes.
It's hit the blade, not the gloves.
If you can have RTS to the previous one, RTS with the previous angle, please.
Quite a while.
Let's kiss the sponsor's badge.
And you could see it in Jaiswal's body language as he turned around.
Just yes, please. I just roll back.
Why have we not got Snicko alongside this?
Bizarre. Slowly.
Onto the SG. Touches there, comes off.
I can see a clear contact with the gloves. If you have RTS, you can have this.
Oh, there you go.
Here comes Snicko.
Go back to the previous one. Or the first one you showed me.
There is a clear visual deflection. There's nothing on Snicko.
Yeah, I can see a clear deflection of the glass.
This has to be given out.
The other angle that you showed just previous from the back,
It has to be given out. It clearly deflects off the bat.
The other angle you showed me, yes, please.
Regardless of what Snicko says.
Wow.
Freeze it there. Freeze the replay as the ball is on the gloves. Yeah. I can see the ball. Yeah, just freeze the replay there. I can see the ball has made contact with the gloves. Joel, you need to change your decision.
Oh, yes.
Jaiswal's about to be given out.
Now. Batter is out.
It's a massive moment in the test match. There'll be huge questions around the process and exactly how Jaiswal's been given out. But he was definitely out. Don't worry about the glove. It came off the bat. Jaiswal goes for 84. This is going to be furiously debated in two countries. Technology giveth on 31 and technology taketh away on 84. Cummins has struck. India 7 down.
Clearly out. Yeah. Clearly out. I can't believe that Snicko has not showed anything up, because that's come off the face of the bat. And he knew it. He looked as guilty as anything.
Boland in, catches everywhere. Into Akash on 7, bowls here. Catch, shot man, gone! Or is it? They're convinced, the Australians that is, Joel Wilson unmoved. It pops straight up to short leg. Are we going upstairs again? Are we getting another look at, dare I say it, Snicko? We sure are. Third umpire has been busy this afternoon.
Player review for on-field decision is not out. I've checked the field.
Wow. Usman Khawaja came running in.
Front on first, please.
Saying it was clearly out.
The pay.com.au replay screen will get a first look with Bumrah Sundaresan momentarily.
Ooh. Right, we wait for the replay. Well,
is there an inside edge before it hits the pad flat? That's the question.
I think it's hit the pad. I don't know whether there's an inside edge. Doesn't look like it hit the bat.
So the Australians just reflexively went up as though it was the most straightforward decision in the world. Here's Snicko. And there is a murmur, more than a murmur. Well, it's in operation now. Umpire Wilson, Joel,
slowly.
You're going to have to change your decision.
Spikes as the ball has just passed the bat. Satisfied the batter has made contact
Joel
with the
Wilson.
bat. So, Joel, you need to change your decision. Stand by.
Oh, no.
It was the soundtrack of the 2019 Ashes. Joel, you're going to have to change your decision. 8 for 150. Aussies on a roll. They've taken 5 wickets since tea. Akash deep. Caught it short leg for 7. Boland gets a second. Snicko involved again. All happening at the G.
Call the head of Snicko again, Tommy Morris. All of India will want to know.
2 leg slips. Boland delivers. Bumrah edging to first slip. It's carried. He's gone. Outstanding Scott Boland. He's done it again. Back in the attack. 2 wickets in 2 overs. Australia are 1 wicket away from a famous victory. Stephen Smith, his second clutch catch of the final session. Low and to his right. After making 100 in the first innings, he's having a big say in the final session. Bumrah's gone for a duck. 9 for 154. After a few words from Bumrah Sundaresan, it'll be Jared Waitley to call you through to the end.
Yeah, who else but Scotty Boland? We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Joel Wilson's called for the third umpire, but Bumrah's walking off. It looked like a clean catch to me.
Good placement.
Steve
it's a
Smith.
Delivery front on first, please.
Low just in front of him. And Bumrah's not waiting for the third umpire's decision. He's gone off. Siraj has already walked into the middle. Scotty Boland. Why wait for the second new ball?
Yeah, just roll back once again. For me, I can see the fingers are underneath the ball. Just roll back.
Fourth umpire actually asking Bumrah to wait.
Yeah.
Well, we've had one umpiring controversy already.
Under the ball,
but
as the ball gets into the hands, satisfied. My decision for the big split is.
Will be confirmed as out. Hands wrapped around a lovely piece of slips fielding. Out. 9 for 154. Siraj sent to the gallows. Simon Kadich, welcome back.
Good evening, Jared, Bharat, all our listeners.
Suddenly there's a big margin for error. Still 14.3 overs remaining. Nathan Lyon from the Warn ends. Lyon bowls, Siraj. They're up and pleading. Yes! Brilliant, Australia. Utterly brilliant. One of the great final session test victories. 7 wickets after tea. for a 2-1 lead in the series. It just has to be confirmed by the
Check the
DRS,
hit placement, and it's a fair delivery.
which is fitting because so much of this session has belonged with the TV umpire.
And the whole test match, hasn't it really? There's been so many DRS reviews, but Nathan Lyon, he doesn't go up very often if he doesn't think it's out. That was a great celebration from the greatest off-spinner that we've produced. Magical.
Low down, under the bat, under the knee roll. This will give Australia a second chance to celebrate. Be ready, people.
Just roll back once again.
Don't leave us hanging.
I can see the ball passing under
The villain of the piece, Snicko, nothing there.
Satisfied, no bat involved. Ball tracking, please.
Here we go. One more roar.
Listen to that.
Australia win a record-breaking test at the MCG. A truly rollicking affair. It's a day 5 that will never be forgotten. India all out 155. Australia wins by 184 runs. Test cricket at its absolute peak.
Test cricket is alive and well in Australia. There's no doubt about that. What a wonderful victory by Australia. They looked down and out when Rishabh Pant and Jaiswal were going, getting through to T, 3 down. And then since Rishabh Pant holed out at deep mid-wicket, it just unravelled. The skipper, Pat Cummins, deserves a lot of credit for the way he went through the bowling changes. Scott Boland was outstanding. Cummo was outstanding. And then Nathan Lyon finished off with the last wicket of Siraj. Plum LBW. Some remarkable catching as well. Mitch Marsh took a couple of good ones, and so did Steve Smith at first slip to get rid of the first innings centurion, Reddy. But what an amazing turnaround in this last session. This crowd has been treated to some absorbing Test cricket for the last 5 days.
The last 4 wickets in the last 10 overs. We were talking up the second new ball and how important it'd be for the Australians, and they didn't need to get to it. Nathan Lyon, good reward. He was so unlucky. I feel for Washington Sunder. India do have a player of real resilience and skill there. He didn't really look like getting out, but unfortunately at the end he ran out of teammates. Pat Cummins, a phenomenal test match. Scott Boland producing big, as he always does here at home at the MCG, and probably the real winner is the Melbourne public and fans that have turned up today for this record-breaking day. To think that we've had over a record-breaking 100,000 fans, but 70,000 plus today. And the game lived up to the record crowd as well. It had everything. There was great individual performances with bat, ball, in the field in particular from Stephen Smith. What a wonderful 5 days.